Hello and welcome back to Typical City, everyone. Kyle Walker. He has been the centre of attention for numerous reasons, personal reasons as well as footballing reasons, captaincy, leadership qualities. Manchester City fans turning their back on him for some unknown reason. I totally disagree with that. But the personal side of things and the football side of things, I'm starting to question whether those two are starting to cross over one another, and the reason why I'm making this video now, because I don't want to make videos about people's personal lives and the circumstances that Kyle Walker's got himself into. I do have an opinion on it, and I'm entitled to give an opinion, and I'm going to give you my opinion on it. But I also want to talk about the football side of it as well, and that's why I'm now making the video, because he didn't start against Burnley. It raised question marks for me as to what is going on. Why wouldn't he start against Burnley? If there was something else, a little niggle that I'm not aware of, then fair enough. It may be something that precautionary or resting him for Brentford, whatever it may be, I'm not too sure. But all attention for me will be on the right back position in the starting 11 against Brentford. Will he start against Brentford? I really hope he does, and I hope we've not got a problem here long term. Because those of you that have really stuck the knife into Kyle Walker this season, some of the people out there on multiple platforms as well, frauds, basically, frauds who think they understand the game, understand what it's required to be a Premier League defender, and just generally how to defend as a footballer. I mean, some of the stuff that I've heard people say is he needs to run faster. Like, it's basic things like that. Like, they clearly don't understand the game, and blaming him for everything, I think it's just totally harsh. Totally harsh. There's been numerous moments this season where Kyle Walker has been used as a scapegoat, while other players around him in that defence have made mistakes that have cost us goals. And because he's somewhere on the pitch, it's all about let's blame Kyle Walker. I totally disagree with that. There is other elements to his game because he's been asked to attack. And guess what? I've got some incredibly interesting statistics for you. Really interesting statistics. So stick around for that, because I'm going to show you and expose these frauds for what they are. Bearing in mind that I too had my doubts about Kyle Walker going forward. I openly said that I don't think Kyle Walker is the best asking him to go forward and cross a ball and be creative in any way. That's never been his game before, which is why I was using the history of evidence that was it was against Kyle Walker and his ability to go forward. That was a lot of why I was saying, why is Pep asking him to go forward? And they say you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Well, I've got some statistics for you, so stick around for that. But with regards to the personal things, it baffled me. It really did baffle me as to why Kyle Walker chose to go to the Sun of all newspapers. Of all of the newspapers you could have gone to, the Sun, the proper bottom, the dregs of media. Like, ugh, it's just the low end society. Like, just like cheating is not great. It's not a good look at all. But I do think football fans in general seem to really have it in for players who cheat on their wives. And as much as I totally disagree with it, I think cheating is wrong. I just think there's so much worse that goes on in football. Like some if you drink driving, for example, or like Joey Barton sticking a cigar in a youth player's eyes. Do you remember that? That got about 10 minutes, didn't it? That got about 10 minutes in the media. That was disgraceful. GBH, that was just the most despicable act of assault I've ever seen, and it was a couple of days in the media. But like, you know, Cheryl Cole being cheated on by Ashley Cole, that's like months and months and months of headlines. And the reason why what's so bent with our society nowadays in the priority of what is so bad. And I totally disagree with what Kyle Walker's done. And I feel for everyone in the situation, his children mainly. As a man myself who's got two children, the idea of them having seen their mum and dad go two separate ways, that must be hard, as well as the fact that he himself now can no longer see those children. She must be torn to bits because they've been together for so long. It's just a shit situation. Through Kyle Walker's making. It's a stupid decision. He said it himself, and I think it's bang out of order what Kyle Walker's done. Totally wrong. He seems to have a little bit of a screw loose every now and again, going out, getting his knob out in public and things like that. I'm not sure he's fully turned into a man yet, but he does try to hold himself up in reasonably good position. But there is a mask that he wears in these interviews that we see, because the man that gets exposed in public, quite literally exposed, is a very different man that we see in these interviews. And whether it was crocodile tears, whether it was the Sun twisting his arm saying, why would you go to the Sun for a start? That baffles me. I don't know why you would try to control the media potentially. I don't know why you would do that. I don't know. The Sun of all papers. I'm completely speculating now whether it's the Sun saying, Kyle, give us an interview and then we'll leave you alone. If it was something along those lines, then terrible decision again still, because, I mean, it's made it so much worse. I hope they get it sorted for his sake, his children's sake, his missus' sake, and the family on the whole, and just hopefully there's a happy ending that comes out of it from his personal side of things. Forget that now, because I'm not really that bothered, in truth. I'm bothered when he wears a Manchester City shirt. That's when I really am bothered. And so far this season, for a man who's supposed to, or not this season, last season, the year before that, and the year before that, this is a man who's supposed to have been doing this activity and cheating for years. And you would never have guessed it on the football pitch, would you? Not a clue. You wouldn't have a clue that something is going on in his private life to affect his performances. But the reason, like I said, is he didn't start against Burnley. And that baffled me. I don't know why, whether he's resting him for Brentford. Hopefully it's all eyes on Brentford for that right-back position, the starting 11. Will he play? And if he doesn't, then real questions need to be fired at Pep. Questions need to be fired at Kyle Walker, because we've just suddenly lost our captain now. Now, that brings into the whole question of whether Kyle Walker is a captain and what is a captain. Because, I mean, if I'm in the dressing room, for one, and he comes in after that interview, I would think slightly less of him. I would look at him and go, Kyle, mate, what have you been doing? Why have you been doing that? Why are you fucking your family around like that, man? That's just not right. And then if he started talking about football, and purely because of the hierarchy, he is the captain, and he started to give some sort of pre-match speech or something like that, doing some form of leadership, and we've all heard all the players have spoken highly about Kyle Walker's pre-match speech before the Champions League final, which we went and won, when he wasn't even starting. So he must have been absolutely gutted to have not been starting in that game. Totally devastated, but he still stood up, he manned up, and he spoke his piece, and he motivated those players to go onto the pitch and win the game. Not all through Kyle Walker's making. I'm not giving him the credit for the win or anything like that, but I'm certainly saying it takes balls to stand up in the devastation of you knowing you're not starting the game and still give a captain's speech like that, when he wasn't even the captain at the time as well. But great to know that he's got that motivation skills. And if he can do that, then maybe as a football player in the dressing room with him, I would go, okay, right, forget your personal life. I'm not here to judge you. I'm not here to judge your personal life and your decisions outside of our training ground and our dressing room. I'm not there to judge you on that. I'm here to play football for Manchester City. And at the best of my ability. And if Pep and the rest of the squad decide that Kyle Walker is still good enough to be the captain, then I'm all for that. I am absolutely all for that. Now, what bothers me as much as anything is the number of people on multiple platforms, as this included, YouTube included, that have slated Kyle Walker to the hills. Unnecessarily so. There's been one major error that I can think of this season that's out and out Kyle Walker's fault, was that Sheffield United game where he tried to backheel it on the touchline, gives it away, and Sheffield United equalise. He goes up the other end and whips in a cross for Rodri to make it 2-1 with seconds remaining on the game. So he almost pretty much redeemed himself straight away after doing that. Talking about the Phil Foden giving away a penalty, for example, against Crystal Palace. His ability to defend against Anthony Gordon for making it 2-1 against Newcastle, forgetting the fact that Ruben Diaz was the one who completely fluffed his lines, missed it, gave it away on the halfway line, and put Kyle Walker in that situation where he had to defend a very difficult situation. And I agree with the fact that he could have done better in that one-on-one situation, but there would be no one-on-one situation had Ruben Diaz done his job, but nothing was levelled at Ruben Diaz's door. And I just want to play the game fairly. You know, this whole critiquing and this analysing of the game, let's play it fair. You know, we can't scapegoat our own players and hang them out to dry and bully them into submission, because I mean he's standing up to a lot of the criticism that he's receiving as a captain, as a footballer, the criticism that he receives as a human being. I'm not here to defend him on that, and I personally don't want to defend him on that either. As a player, as a captain, no. I don't think he deserves anywhere near the level of criticism that he's been receiving, and it baffles me that he does. And I've got some stats to prove it to you, because now, first of all, I want to hold my hands up and say, look, I said that guy can't cross. And as I said at the beginning, the evidence was very much there, clear as day, that he can't cross. The statistics proved it season on season on season, going backwards. But let's have a look at this season. And let's compare him, in terms of the attacking side of things, the creativity side of things, and namely his ability to cross a ball, because we all saw the memes and jokes of people saying Kyle Walker's got the ball and memes about being on the moon and getting ready to see the ball flying into Rose Ed and things like that, and his inability to cross the ball. People were saying, okay, should we have a look at that, shall we? Let's have a look at all the players that you expect to cross a ball in a Manchester City shirt. Starting with Julian Alvarez, who's crossed the ball the most this season, because he does take he was taking pretty much all the corners. These are the 23-24 Premier League attacking stats for the following players, starting with Julian Alvarez. 21 appearances, 8 goals, 6 assists. Brilliant, Julian. Absolutely fantastic. Stepping up to the plate there. 107 crosses, 20% crossing accuracy, and 5 big chances created. Not bad at all, considering there's that many crosses to his name. Jeremy Doku, 13 appearances, 2 goals, 5 assists. First season, he got off to a flyer. He's starting to dip a little bit, but I expect him to start that trajectory climbing again towards the end of the season. But 28 crosses, 18% crossing accuracy. He needs to work on that, because that's low, considering the number of crosses is still reasonably low as well. 4 big chances created. End product is my only issue with Jeremy Doku, and it's something he can definitely work on. He's 21, so there's plenty of time to sort that out. Jack Grealish, 13 appearances, 3 goals, 1 assist, 11 crosses, which is quite low, but 27%, not bad. And big chances created, 3. Phil Foden, 21 appearances, 5 goals, 7 assists. That's great numbers. 36 crosses and 22% crossing accuracy, 6 big chances created. So they're not too dissimilar, really. You can see there's a bit of they're not miles apart from one another, are they, really? Same with Bernardo Silva, 17 appearances, 6 goals, 4 assists, 48 crosses. He crosses the ball quite a bit. Second to Julian Alvarez, 21%, 9 big chances created. Kevin De Bruyne, a little bit harsh to include him in this because he's only got 3 appearances, but he's already got ridiculous numbers for 3 appearances. He's got a goal and 2 assists already, and he's crossed the ball 13 times in 3 games with 23% crossing accuracy and 2 big chances created. I mean, this video is not about Kevin De Bruyne, but fucking hell, look at that. Brilliant, Kevin De Bruyne. Kyle Walker. 20 appearances, no goals as expected, because he is not in anywhere near of the positions those other players are. 2 assists, 38 crosses, 37% crossing accuracy. Stick that in your pipe and smoke it, you frauds. The man can't cross a ball, apparently. Far and away the best crosser of the ball in the team this season. Far and away. 3 big chances created, mind you, and 2 assists. 2 assists from Kyle Walker this season. He could have had 5 if those big chances were taken. 3 big chances, 37% crossing accuracy. And you say you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Well, you absolutely can, because clearly this man has been working hard in the training ground, practicing cross after cross after cross, refining this particular art. And he's doing it successfully. The statistics prove it, so get the fuck off his back with regards to crossing. Absolute nonsense, because this man is delivering. We saw that beautiful cross for Bernardo Silva to flick it in to make it 1-0 against Newcastle. Phil Foden should have had a goal when he crossed the ball in the first 2 minutes against Tottenham Hotspurs before Oscar Bob was ruled offside. Beautiful cross, hard and low across the floor. Wonderful football from Kyle Walker, that was. Now let's look at last season and the reason why I said the man can't cross, and I think we've got a problem if we're going to ask him to cross the ball. But here's me holding my hands up. Where's the rest of you holding your hands up? The ones who said he can't cross the ball. Here's me doing it. Hands up. I got it wrong. He's clearly been practicing, working his socks off at crossing, and he's delivering. He's delivering. I'm not seeing anyone else do it. Last season, there you go. 27 appearances, no goals, no assists, 28 crosses, 14%. Really low, really poor, and no big chances created in the entire season. So in less games, he's got 2 assists and 3 big chances created compared to the entirety of last season. So I think that's put that to bed. Kyle Walker can't cross the ball, can he? He absolutely can. With regards to his personal life, I think we should just leave it. I think we should just leave it, to be honest. And the only time we start talking about it from now on is if he doesn't start against Brentford. If Pep starts to see there has been a knock-on effect to his personal situation that is now ciphered over into his footballing career to the point where it's affecting it. That's where I feel like I have every right to speak on it, because it's affecting the football side of things, and the football side of things is what I personally care about. I hope that's all you care about. I mean, if you're one of these guys who wants to know who's dating who in the world, then have at it. Enjoy yourselves. I couldn't give two shits, in truth. Some people do. That's why you buy The Sun, and maybe why Kyle Walker's done something like that. But in truth, the football, he is absolutely delivering this season, and why we should get behind him. He is still the captain. Pep has said so himself. So let's get behind him. What do you think, Blues? Get in the comments below. I want to hear your thoughts. Like and subscribe. Typical City is the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.